Hey, this is Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. This is a little shot about the Florence relief. They just had a video about the National Guard that have been called from all over the different states to help out in the rescue and recovery and other things. But the recovery from different groups takes long, hard hours. Even though it's been a week since they've had Florence here, there's flooding still everywhere. Several major videos on that. This gal's going to talk about the efforts of getting things ready before the storm hits.
Don't understand about hurricane relief is it actually starts long before the storm hits landfall. We started planning about 2 weeks ago. We were monitoring the storm out in the Atlantic, and when it looked like we were going to have some type of landfall here in South Carolina, we started mobilizing our assets, looking at what inventory we had in stock, what supplies that we might need, and started reaching out to our community donors to help get things ready ahead of time. We've started out doing disaster relief activities in the communities as identified by the local emergency managers. We then went to work trying to find additional resources because we knew this was not going to be a short-term event. We've been very fortunate to have some wonderful corporate partners who have provided funding so we can do ongoing things like mobile food pantries in those areas that still don't have a grocery store because the grocery store hasn't rebuilt after the hurricane.
We've got major stuff going on, bridges, roads, things that are still flooded, houses, living conditions that are gone, houses that are gone. There's billions that are going to be put into this. They say this might be the 7th most expensive hurricane of all time, into the billions. Anyhow.
Benefit of going through disasters on multiple years is we learn something every time we go through this. We are finding that we are more proactive. We plan more in advance.
Hurricane Florence really has been kind of a two-step operation. We had the initial landfall of Hurricane Florence and the impacts from the storm there, and now we're keeping a close eye on the flooding as well. So we really are using what we learned at Hurricane Matthew and the floods as we kind of assess the situation. We're keeping a really close eye on the river levels. We have several shelters that are on standby in the event that an evacuation is requested. It really is important that we keep that good conversation up with all those government partners in the county so that they can tell us what the needs are and that we can get shelters open if needed. We have disaster mental health staff and volunteers that are here to help people process what they're going through. We have nurses here if there are any individual needs that people have. We really keep a close eye on what those needs are, and we aren't finished yet. The work is not finished. We're going to keep an eye on those rivers. We're going to start working to see if we need to hand out cleanup kits and other emergency supplies for people as we see again what those rivers are going to be doing.
Hurricane Florence really is just something we never imagined. We knew we were prepared for it with the winds. We went through Hurricane Matthew a couple years ago and had a lot of trees that were down. This time it was flooding that really was the big issue. Although we'd never seen flooding like this before in our lives. The flooding took out our road and our raw take water line, which supplies the water from the Petey River. We also have a backup water source, which is Brazenton Pond, but that also is controlled by this water intake line. So having done that, we were able to borrow some materials from the city of Columbia, which we're grateful for, and we're able to get water supply from our Brazenton Pond. We're using that as our water supply right now, and providing water for our residents. It's the industrial usage that we cannot supply yet, but we're working on some solutions to do that, and hopefully we'll have them up and running in the next few days. It's amazing how people will come together and offer any type of support. The other thing is, as other cities and municipalities and government agencies have reached out to us offering support, so we're very grateful for them. We're also fortunate to have the National Guard here that have helped out tremendously. So I've been very appreciative of everybody reaching out to us, and we can't thank them enough.
All right, so tremendous damage that will have to go through trees and flooding, road structures, bridges, water, food, shelter, whole communities that have been flooded. A lot of work is going to have to be done for years to get things back up to where they are. So if you can help, please do so. Again, this is Roger Marks from Billings, Montana. Good day.